Hi guys, and welcome to this video with another impossibly long title that I have no chance of remembering. Something about describing the spread and data of, or spread and some... See, no idea. Too old for me doing this. Should be writing this rubbish down, not my lessons. I'd never get anything recorded. My name's Darren. It's really good to see you. Again, hopefully, if you've been and seen other videos. But if you're new, do me a favour, just pop over to YouTube, click the subscribe button for the MaffsGuru channel, and life is good. Trust me, all it tells me is that someone is watching, and that I'm not actually talking to myself like a complete lunatic. Alternatively, there's MaffsGuru.com. Head over there and you will be able to sign up for free and get access to these videos ordered by textbook with notes and time codes and exam questions and so much more. Thank you very much. What are we doing today? Learning objective. We're going to understand that histograms, when drawn, can be described in terms of shape, location and spread. If you have no idea what a histogram is, I've done a video on that. Please go and watch it. Alternatively, don't, and let's just wing it because let's freeform this all together. Now, shape, location and spread, really important. Why is this stuff important? Because in further maths, units 3 and 4, if you have any idea what I'm talking about, has a huge statistics component. Yes, and it builds very much on this. If you smash this content and totally understand it, not regurgitate it, learn it and understand it, you know, year 12 is going to be just awesome if you're an Australian student. If this is something for another school or another country, then hopefully it's useful for you in later years as well. All right, so we've looked at histograms. You know what they're for. They're to have, what is it, numerical data on the bottom, and we have frequency up the side. Yes, that's different from a bar chart, which we deal with categorical data. Congratulations. Okay, now, a shape of a distribution is really important, and we tend to describe the shape of a distribution using three main things: symmetrical, positively skewed, negatively skewed. Now you're like, huh? Am I supposed to know this? No, I've just introduced it now. Now, symmetry is awesome. Believe it or not, there's apps on your phone that if you look at your face and do a line, you can take a photo of your face, you can do a line halfway, do it, and reflect your face, and I'm sure you would think that they are the same. Yes, that the left-hand side of your face would be a mirror image of your right-hand side. Afraid not. Nah. Okay, I did it once, and oof, I was even more ugly than I am now, and that's saying something. OMG, you won't be doing that again. So, yes, try it. I don't know the name of the app, download it, give it a go. Interestingly, models, people they choose for models, actually have a greater degree of symmetry. For some reason, our eyes find symmetry attractive. Yes, so you're now either muting this or just not watching me, and I'm so sorry, I'm a little bit like Quasimodo. Anyway, moving on. So in this situation, symmetry means that the left-hand side and the right-hand side look the same if we were to cut it in half. And believe it or not, if we look here, what do we notice? If we cut it down some sort of theoretical middle point, we notice that it looks the same on either side. Now, it doesn't have to be exact, all right? Don't get too stressed if one bar on the left is slightly higher than the one on the right. So long as it has that rough symmetry, you are fine. Don't worry about it. All right, so symmetrical. If we notice here, what do we see? We've got histogram A. We just had that one a moment ago. This is definitely symmetrical, yes? But what about histogram B? Yeah, so what did it say? They can also be approximately symmetrical, and that's what I'm saying here. You would turn around and say, well, it doesn't look symmetrical. Well, it sort of does. There's my middle data point. We, roughly speaking, have about the same shape on either side. Yes, there's a little bit missing here, but on the whole, it's the same. It's a bit of a judgment call, yes? Trust me, you will be able to see from graphs when they're not symmetrical. So don't worry too much about it in this particular course. What about if the graph is sort of leaning to one side? And I so desperately want to sing leaning on a lamppost, but that would be sad, and I won't do it, yeah? Well, basically, we can have graphs that seem to lean either more to the left or more to the right. And one of the examples here is like histogram C. That's seemingly leaning more to the left. Now, that's definitely not symmetrical. All right, there's no way in God's earth you can tell me that's symmetrical. And so someone somewhere, Barry Nutter, has come up with the idea that this is going to be called positively skewed. Now again, no idea why, you're just going to have to learn it. And lots of kids I know go, I never remember them, or put them in your summary book. Have them tattooed somewhere. Don't have them tattooed somewhere. That would be awkward. When you're 70, you'd be like, oh, I hated maths and look what I did. Don't do it. Yeah, so obviously when it's more to the left, he says, trying to reverse it for the camera, it is positively skewed. And guess what? Yes, when it is more to the right, i.e. when your graph looks more like that, It is what we call negatively skewed. Again, that people have tried to explain shortcuts, remember this. It hasn't stuck. I have no idea. I have to try and basically remember it every single time. So that describes the shape of my distribution, yes? Symmetrical, positively skewed, or negatively skewed. Now again, not all histograms are centered around the same point. So we have to describe where the center of this thing is. And again, if we look here, we would probably suggest that our histogram E is centered roughly around there, whereas our histogram F seems to be centered much, much higher up. So not only do we describe a histogram in terms of its shape, we describe it in terms of its center. So we try and find that center value to try and then talk about, say, well, hold on a moment, that's where the center is. And there are all tools to be able to do this, and that's coming up in later videos. And again, not only are they centered in different places, they are also spread out more or less than each other. So again, as I said, we were looking at shape, we're looking at center, so where roughly the center of our histogram is, but now we're looking about how wide or how spread out our data is. And what you notice here, our histogram G seems to go somewhere from, let's call that what, 3 to 11. So that would have a spread of somewhere between 3 and 11. But this one here seems to spread somewhere between 1 and 15. So histogram H has a much wider spread of data than histogram G, which seems to be much more bunched up. And again, there are phrases and words that we use to describe the spread of the data. But just realize now that when you draw a histogram, it's important to start thinking about center, spread, and shape. See how this course is beginning to build up? Oh, this is quite good if you watch my previous videos. And believe it or not, that's the end. Yes, I'm telling you that later on we'll talk a little bit more in depth, but this was just a taster of what you've got to be able to do. And I'm done. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hopefully it's been useful. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. If you are, leave a comment on YouTube. Send me an email saying how much you enjoy it. But more importantly, can you just spread the word? It's so important that other people out there get the opportunity to see my videos. I'm sure I can help so many more people than I currently am, okay? MaffsGuru.com, it's all there for you. YouTube, subscribe, but otherwise I'm going to call it a day and see you next time. Take care, guys. Stay safe. See you soon.